Hey everybody, it's Dynamite Show. Paul Fontaine, Jeff Hawkins here on the Fight Game Media YouTube channel. Checking in about 10 minutes after Dynamite ended. And for those of you listening to the audio feed Thursday morning, I want to thank you all for supporting us. And we had a pretty packed show today. I think the world title match didn't even get in the ring until almost the time the show's scheduled to end. I don't know if that I didn't have a clock going, but I feel like that Fletcher Bailey match might have went longer than what they said it did. I don't know. I'm sure Dave timed it, so we'll find out tomorrow morning. But I don't know. What'd you think
of what?
I don't know. Just overall, we'll get back to what we're going to talk about. But I'm just curious because I usually ask you ahead of time, but I didn't ask you today.
It's not that I'm also very tired from work.
Oh, okay.
We're doing a release, and we're now in 2 weeks over when we were supposed to close testing for it. So I'm a little tired.
Okay. Well, no, that's
I enjoyed Speedball and Kyle Fletcher for what it is. It just had me thinking, okay. I want to talk big picture when we get to it.
Did you see Fletcher Ospreay in TNA a couple of years ago, right before Ospreay came to AEW? Or not Fletcher Ospreay, Ospreay Speedball.
Yes, I think I did.
That's what this match reminded me of. Like it was very much like that. Although I do think the TNA match was better, but it was very much the same kind of match. And when I say better, I mean not much better, but better. And I think it's just because Ospreay is probably better than Fletcher, a little bit. I was just curious on that. Matt has an interesting question here. What would the equivalent of Phillip Rivers coming back at 44 years old to be in pro wrestling? I don't know, Sting? That seems like the easiest answer.
Yeah, Sting's a good one, but Sting was always around, and then you could bring it back a couple years.
Or Punk.
To me, there's not an equivalent because the NFL is such a grueling league, and I don't think Rivers is gonna do well. I think that's the
Goldberg.
Goldberg's good. He comes back for a few things. I would think, if say for the Attitude Era, someone like Tully Blanchard had come back to WCW, that would have been the equivalent to me.
Yeah, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Yeah,
Steamboat in the Jericho angle.
Yeah,
is a good one.
But that was that was not very long. But yeah, he lasted longer than you remember. Like it was 3 or 4 months.
Well, Phillip Rivers may not last too long either. So
if he makes it to the end of the season, if
his offensive line gives up a sack and a 44-year-old who hasn't been,
I got a good one.
His training. Well, okay, go ahead. Backlund's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Backlund actually won a world title.
Yeah. Well, maybe Phillip will. So what we wanted to talk about today was something that I brought up in the Discord. And when we recapped the show last week, there were differing opinions on that opening promo thing that between Eddie and Joe, and of course they main evented the show tonight, and they did a promo segment last week to build up the world title match. And I think we both said their delivery was great. The material they had to work with wasn't as great as they are. And what I couldn't put my finger on what exactly it was that bugged me about it. And it wasn't until I listened to a couple recaps that it hit me. And you brought up part of this, and it was, the fact that this is the same promo that we saw Danielson cut, the same one we saw Punk cut, on Eddie saying, oh, you've got all the potential in the world, but you can never put it together and you can never win the big one. And it didn't even dawn on me until a couple days later. Eddie won the initial Continental Classic, which at the time was for 3 belts. It was billed as the Triple Crown. It was billed as the best tournament in North America. It had all the top stars in it. And the whole point of that tournament was Eddie can't win the big one. So there was that. And then not only that, we are in the middle of the current Continental Classic, which they're building their whole shows around. And Eddie won that. So if that's not the big one, then, I mean, obviously Joe was referring to the world title, but the way that this show is presented and the way that this tournament is presented, it's almost like the Continental Classic right now is more important than the world title.
It's not. Let's not get
ridiculous.
Well, it's
not, but that's what they're almost trying to tell us.
Well, yes, you realize that they've caught themselves in a they out-clevered themselves because they went from Eddie can't win the big one to Eddie can't win the big one. And so what you do is you just shift what the big one is over and over and over again, as opposed to Eddie can't win it. Yeah. And it really doesn't work. It doesn't. I'm sorry. Yeah, you cashed in all those chips on the Continental Classic. And that first one, and boy, it elevated Eddie Kingston to the big super.
To be fair, he did get injured right after that.
No, I get that, and then they simultaneously broke up the Triple Crown right as they were doing it, which really stressed the importance of this tournament. Yeah. But yeah, it was. It's exactly right. If you're gonna do that story, this has to be established, and it has to be continue to be followed up on. Like Eddie has to continue. Eddie had to come in, lose the world title, and then continue building himself back up to lose the world title over and over and over again until the crowd just can't stand it anymore. And instead, what we've got now is, well, whose turn is it to hold the world title? And so we're going to build that guy up for the match next, type of a thing. And I'm.
Because they'll definitely come back to this at some point.
Yeah, going by the parameters you set for that argument, yes. To me,
that was the juxtaposition we had, and yes. Carl Man 7000. Because we don't see the names anymore. I'm sure that's one of our regular viewers, but I'm not sure who it is.
Look, I like that more than James Gunn's Superman. I want
there we go.
7000 the movie.
So they is Tony Khan, and Tony Khan's a promoter, and he's promoting this C2, and and really, it is a hell of a tournament. Don't get me wrong. These matches have been great, and they're they got top talent in it, and Jack Perry. And
can I ask something though? Let me jump in here because we've had this show. I've had this show before.
Just no sells it, but okay.
On no, because I had a point.
You're gonna get a message about that. You know that, right?
Yes.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Go with your point.
I'm trying to get it back. Okay, here it is. I've had shows on Shake Them Ropes. I've had shows here where I've asked you, is AEW a lazy company? And I don't mean the work in the ring or whatever. I just mean the retail politic, shaking hands, doing public appearances, kissing babies, all that other stuff. We know Tony Khan will go out there and do that. But if this is your most important tournament of the year, and I flip on the TV and I'm watching guys like Gunther on First Take on ESPN due to their partnership and stuff like that. Why are we? And I have wrestlers come out when they do shows in Anaheim and they're doing meet and greets that are beneath them for vodka sponsors and stuff like that. Why have I not gotten a media push for the guys in this tournament doing hits everywhere, plugging it? I don't understand this. This is year 3 of this tournament. It is supposed to quote unquote be important and not filler for the holidays.
Part of the
problem is the guys don't want to do it. There's
that, and they didn't even nail, basically
until the day started.
Yeah. AA Rocks points out that I called this the least interesting replacement, and I stand by that. And I've had people tell me, he's got heat with the Don Callis family and all this. Oh, they sure told that story. They did after the match.
No, they don't tell the story as well, but I would disagree, dude. I would, yes.
Oh,
there are far less interesting people you could have replaced this with.
Well,
the reason they did Jack Perry is because there's some story with Darby that they couldn't get to. As use Jack as a placeholder.
Well, what I'm told is it's because Darby was going to lose a bunch of matches, and Perry's one of the guys that can actually lose.
Well, that too, but you put Commander back in here. That
That's
could
what
be
I
his
said.
story.
I'd be
story,
fine with-
his story could be every year somebody gets hurt and Commander
Yeah.
comes in and takes a bunch of losses.
I don't know. I just you know,
I had
it's
no
not even
problem with it.
It's not even that I don't like Jack Perry. I just don't care about Jack Perry. That's worse than not liking him.
They haven't done the work with Jack Perry.
No, they expect that. Oh yeah, he's a day one guy.
Because I don't put this on Jack Perry. I don't put Jack. Well, yes, but he's a heel.
So what? Doesn't matter. So it's Moxley, and he's acting like a babyface. I want to get to this.
Then you'd have four heels and two baby faces.
Yeah.
In here, yeah.
Plethora had a super chat. I want to thank you very much for the super chat. Mm-hmm. And this is a good question, and it actually brings up something I want to talk about too. If Heat is Mercedes winning all these belts, and why did she lose her first belt in front of 300 fans in attendance and even less watching on Honor Club? Okay, I think it was more than 300. It might have been 1,000. And less watching on Honor Club, that I'm not sure of. I think they have maybe 8,000 subscribers. I don't know if they were all watching, because we put up a thread in the Discord and David Lavelle, who takes time to put these threads together, comes back the next morning. There's not a single comment. Now, I do think there are people in our Discord watching. They just didn't comment, but
want to chat at the time. But
I watched it yesterday. I think
it's marketing in a poor way, trying to drive viewers to the Honor Club thing, but they don't really plug it, so nobody really goes. They do it last second, and they expect you to be watching, and then these buys. He has something in him about not booking ahead of time that somehow gets the walk-up audience, and probably Dave telling him it's a good idea, although Dave has since criticized it. But the other reason is because Mercedes is smart.
Well, I will
do your losses on TV.
And when she comes back to Winnipeg and loses it here, there's going to be nobody watching on Honor Club.
Exactly. What's going to happen is the story is going to be on Dynamite, where you start seeing a chyron with the number of belt she holds start to go down. But she's never going to lose any of them on television. It's going to be phenomenal.
I have to give them credit on this one, though, because, yes, she lost it on Honor Club in front of not a big crowd, but they showed it on Collision, they showed it on Dynamite, and they showed her reaction to it. And clearly this is a story. And they brought it back to Chris Statlander predicting, I'm going to beat you, and then this is going to be the start of your downfall. And that, sure enough, that's what we're seeing. And you know what? I give them slack when they, are bad on things. This has been really well done so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's good. And can I appreciate the troll of Plethora here? We say, I did a head count. It was 3. I could see him buying this, pausing with an abacus.
Okay.
1,
I will
2,
I will
3.
I will concede to
Wait,
your point.
I counted that fat kid twice. No.
But I will say I turned on that show, and there was 2 YouTube like 2 shows on YouTube, and they both looked the same, and they're both on the Ring of Honor channel. So I clicked on the first one, and the audio was horrible. It sounded like there was no one in the building, and the announcer sounded like they were talking into tin cans. And then about 20 minutes in, all of a sudden there was like a card that went up, and there was like nothing going on for like 5 minutes in the middle of a match. And I'm like, okay, this is dumb. So then I switched over to the other one, and that one was perfectly fine. The crowd was hot. The announcer sounded fine and everything. So clearly something screwed up, and then they went back and fixed it, and they put up a second file. This was on the pre-show. As far as I know, the Honor Club thing was fine. And I thought the crowd, I don't know how big it was, but the crowd on that show was fine. What I wanted to mention, and I'm glad Plethora asked that question because it brought me to this. I've watched so much damn wrestling in the last week, and I'm so far behind. There was way, way, way too much wrestling going on this weekend.
Yes.
And that Ring of Honor show, it was good, but it was basically a 4-hour episode of Collision. Now, if you like Collision, and a really good one, don't get I'm not saying it was bad, but it wasn't like a pay-per-view. It was like a Collision. There was a lot of really good matches on it. Nothing happened other than Mercedes losing her belt.
I was too busy having the worst football weekend of my life.
Yeah.
I should have watched wrestling.
Oh,
Had
I
to
know.
cancel my trip to Memphis to Alabama. Then
I feel, yeah. So your team didn't get in, eh?
No.
Yeah, that sucks. And then I saw, who was it that got in? And I'm like, what? They're in
James Madison?
Yes.
Tulane?
In the playoff? Tulane? Like what?
Yeah. Well, Tulane won their conference, and James Madison, coach from Indiana.
The college football playoffs have jumped the shark if James Madison and Tulane are in the playoffs.
Look, what you're going to get look, off topic. We'll get back to it in a second. Is all these big power schools are now just going to have cupcake schedules and expect to get in. That's what's going to happen now.
Yeah. And hey, so we're just going to get right back to where we were before we started the playoff. Yeah. So, so that was that. I mean, a lot of really good wrestling. I mean, I saw more like freaking like matches that would have been match of the year like 10 years ago.
I thought NXT had a decent weekend. Yeah. I thought from what
Collision was awesome. That Mox Takeshita match was great.
TNA had a show, right?
Yeah, they had a couple good matches on there. One really bad one.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I haven't. So the last thing I watched was the NXT. So I haven't seen. I'm 4 days behind on New Japan. I haven't watched Raw. I haven't watched last night's NXT. And then there's other stuff I watch. I haven't got to manage to watch as well. Yeah, I know Matt's brought up that he's burnt out on wrestling, and I see that. There's just way too much going on right now. At some point I'm going to be taking a week off in February because I'm going away, and I don't know. I'm going to see how that feels. Then make some decisions.
I'm not burnt out on wrestling, but it's one of those things where I just feel like I only want to watch stuff that is important in terms of actual story build.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about matches. I'll watch matches on the pay-per-views and the events that they're building towards.
I have a friend. One of those things where oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I kind of I really enjoyed Fletcher and Speedball, but half my brain turned off during it because it was just like, all right, what are we going to do with Speedball after this? Either way. And we'll talk about that when we get.
Did he get this win just because everyone said he was going to lose all his matches? Like, I have a friend.
Well, the most important thing they did with him was on social media, and they didn't show it on TV. So, okay.
I have a friend that, to your point, when he watches wrestling, a lot of times he just fast forwards to the end, of the match, and then watches the promos and
first 20-minute segment, last 20-minute segment, and you're done with WWE for the most part.
Well, yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, and he doesn't even watch AEW because that's all it is matches. So, and in his opinion, so all right, let's get into this show. They were in Atlanta. I didn't see I don't think it was a very big building, but damn, they were hot. I mean, this was one of the hottest crowds they've had all year. I thought they were up for everything. And I mean, especially in some of those backstage segments, to the point where I was wondering if they had edited the sound in, but I don't think they did. I think this was just a hot crowd. But guys would be doing an interview backstage and you hear the chants. Did you notice that?
Paul Fontaine reports Tony Khan sweetens the crowd noise.
I just said that he didn't. I said to the point where I thought he did, but I don't think he did.
Look, let the aggregators go with it. Get you some fame. Get you some money. Yeah. Come on. No, it was a good crowd. I mean, this is a nice change of pace from when I have to listen to podcast hosts shame the crowd which I don't appreciate. I don't like that. Don't shame.
Well, oftentimes if the crowd sucks, it's because the show they're watching sucks.
Exactly.
So they did almost 3,000 fans. They were in Gateway Center Arena in College Park, so suburban Atlanta, and so I mean it didn't look that big. I mean, whatever building they were in, I think it was a small building, and it was probably full. So they made a lot of noise, and it was great. And they started out with the women's tag team title match, the Babes of Wrath and the Timeless Love Bombs. That's Harley Cameron and Willow, and against Mina Shirakawa and Toni Storm. And again, the main thing I noted about this match was the crowd was super hot for both teams. They were dueling chants the whole match. They worked pretty fast pace. They went through a break. They came back. Storm hit a Storm Zero on Harley. I thought that was going to be the finish, but Willow broke it up. Then her and Tony went outside the ring, and Willow hit a suplex on her, and then that was the last we saw of Tony until after the match. And then in the ring, Mina hit a couple rolling elbows on Harley. Then she hit her back fist, and Harley, like, that's like a finisher for her, but Harley kind of no-sold it. And then she went for the glorious driver, but Harley reversed that, and then she hit her finishing move, and then tagged out to Willow, and then Willow hit the Babe with the power bomb and got the win. And solid match. I probably about 10 minutes and really good. I mean, I would say it was one of the better matches in the tournament. I'm not sure if it was the best one, but it was solid. And I thought Babes of Wrath are a good choice for the. I don't think they could have made a bad choice. I think either team would have been fine, but I really like this team.
It took a while for me to get into this. It took about 4 minutes of the match because it was just, not that I don't enjoy watching women hit each other with boobs and stuff like that. It's fine. But yeah, and once it got out of comedy realm, it got going and it was good. Were you surprised? Not saying it wasn't a good choice, but were you surprised by the choice?
Well, by the time we got to the finals, I wasn't. But if at the very beginning of this tournament, I thought, well, it's going to be Tony and Mina, or it's going to be Mercedes and Athena. And then outside chance, Marina and Megan. I mean, those would have been my 3 top choices. But as this tournament progressed, it was pretty clear that Harley and Willow were super over, and they got a lot of chemistry and fountains of charisma. And also, the one thing that I didn't really think about till after the match, they're very beatable because it's Harley and she's green. So every match, you're going to go in thinking they could lose. And that's a strong point because it makes you more interested in the match.
I found the booking of this match as the finals interesting, but it worked in so far as this crowd wanted to have a fun time. And so you had 2 teams that they both really, really liked. So it didn't matter because nobody was going to be disappointed either way, which I think was smart for the most part. I'm slightly surprised, but I'm not. When was the last time Willow held a title? She had the TBS title at some point, right?
Yeah, I mean,
and she lost it to Jade, right?
Yeah, so a year and a half ago, maybe.
Okay, people have been clamoring for her to have a title. I think.
Or wait a minute, didn't she lose it to Stat?
Did she?
Thought so.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember, but
I remember she also had the New Japan Strong title, the Mercedes belt.
I know that Harley. I think Harley has just turned 30 or 31.
Oh, wow.
I still consider her quote unquote young talent, though.
Well, she is. I mean, she's only
time
3 years
in the ring. So it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And you can actually, God bless him, if he ever decides to give this women's division time on TV other than Collision, you do have a fairly decent mid-card women's tag division.
Oh, yeah.
Within this whole thing between, like, if you ever wanted to put Deanna and Taya back together, you have Anna and Ty Mello, all the teams that were in this tournament for the most part.
They're pushing Diamante a little bit more, so you could do like her and Billy. What? I know I keep bringing her up.
Every time. No, both of us do this. You know what? You can actually do something with Diamante now.
Well, she was in Athena's corner for the ROH.
That's right.
Shows. Yeah, so and so her and Billy could be a tag team for sure. And then they got that. I mean, everyone loves this team. I don't think anything of them, but they've been on TV a lot. Maya World and Hyan.
They like her because they want to show up Tegan Knox.
That's exactly what it is. So they got those, and and there's other teams out there too.
My fears are gonna give this to the Sin Sisters in about a month.
They could, yeah. I mean, and you know what? Honestly, Sin Sisters would be fine too. Or apparently Anna Jay is being blackballed. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Blackballed is probably the wrong word. Iced is a better word. She has not signed her new contract yet, so that's why she's been off TV. I think Sean reported that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I believe it.
Yeah. So that's why they haven't been on TV. I mean, we saw them. I think the last time we saw them was against the aforementioned Hyan and Maya World.
Let's learn from our mistakes. Let's make people go do indie dates.
Yeah.
To get better.
There you go. So Tay would have to team up with someone else then. Maybe. No, not Deanna. Or
Diamante.
Yeah.
Gray.
Yeah. Layla, I think she might be hurt.
Yeah, that's true too. I saw
Yeah, that's too bad. Because man, she was getting a mini push. Oh, they just
She
brought
was
in
game.
Zeta. Oh,
Yeah.
Tay and Zeta would be a great team.
that would be good. Yeah.
Yeah, Zeta Steel. They just brought
Or
her
this
in.
new Lena.
Oh, Lena Cross. Yeah. Yeah.
Cross.
You know what's funny? Someone mentioned her getting signed, and well, did I mention this last week?
You
I think I might have. When they mentioned her getting signed, and then I was like, oh, she lost on Collision. I'm like, oh, that's a good way to get signed. And then I found a comment that I made right after she lost. AW needs to is what I said. So it was like, and I wasn't trying to pat myself on the back. I was more
the
like,
internet never forgets. Just don't ever...
I'm the one that pointed it out. No,
Okay.
because I was like, I was saying to myself, like, oh yeah, look at, I'm the one that said it, and then I'm making fun of it. So after the match, Renee interviewed them in the ring, which is a nice touch. And she asked Willow how she feels, and she said she's tired. And she points out that Harley's mouth is bleeding, and she said it's not makeup, it's blood. But she said she's very happy for her. Crowd was chanting, "You deserve it." And then Harley points out that the two of them wrestled on Harley's second ever match in AEW Dark. And then here they are as the first ever World Tag Team Champions. So that's kind of cool. And then they tried to get a Babes of Wrath chant started, but didn't really take. And which is sad because this crowd was super hot, but they just,
and I would be very happy overall in women's tag team wrestling if you built more teams as opposed to two names. Like, give me some expresses. Give me some. Don't do the portmanteaus anymore, please. I can't take those.
They had some teams in here, TJ and
see, but I mean, match. I mean, they get the match. Get a good team name. Stop this combination of the two names, not the mega problems. Not
Sisters of Sin.
Sisters of Sin is a good one.
The mega problems absolutely should have stole Mel and Sam's gimmick and called themselves the Power Bombshells. That would have been perfect.
That would have been nice. The name that I did not say a couple weeks ago was the Dick Rippers, but that would never make it.
Well, no, that's going to be Jack Perry and Luchasaurus now.
Oh, that's true.
We'll get to that.
Good call. Thanks for the save.
Yeah.
Tay and Brick Baker. There we go.
Yeah. What are they? The dental shitty wrestlers. And Tony and Mina came back in the ring and congratulated them. Which are they overcompensating, or were they just really happy for them? Because they showed up here and they showed up later to congratulate. They crashed the conglomeration celebration party later.
Yes.
Are they?
Well, I would heel turn at first.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, because you do it once, okay, they're just being nice. You do it twice, okay, either
then the antenna starts going up,
or it's just they legitimately are happy for them, and in real life kind of thing. So it's one of those two. And we got an Opps promo backstage, and here's where I noticed that like Joe was trying to do his promo, and all you can hear is the fans going, Joe, 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 Joe. They love Joe, even though he's a heel.
There's a quiet promo. They needed to pot his mic up a bit,
and actually in this case they probably should have shut the crowd off. But he congratulated Eddie, said Eddie's been following him his whole career. He said, I'm ruthless by design. You've gotten in the way of what I have. The man you looked up to was a wonderful idea, but the man beating your ass tonight will show you the reality of what this industry is, which is a great line to close it. So
the staging of this was really good too.
Yeah, he was right in the middle of his group, and I think he had it was Powerhouse.
Hobbs was on his right, giving a death stare. Shibata was giving a death stare, and
Hook was kind of behind him, right?
Hook kind of had a bit of a smirk going, but not much, but not enough to be noticeable. But it wasn't like a death glare, because he can't pull that off because he gets saved by his boys all the time. He's kind of the Wheeler Yuta of this crew.
That's the idea, I think, and it worked with Wheeler, so maybe it'll work with him. But the problem is Joe's going to leave in 3 months to go film Twisted Metal, and they're going to forget all about this group.
True.
And then they'll come back, and Hook will be off TV for 9 months, and he'll come back, and we'll expect that we forgot everything. Then we got our favorite thing that I haven't seen in a while, Death Rider's promo in a stairway. And Moxley said his back's against the wall. Time is running out. I noticed that Claudio and Pac weren't around.
Right.
And he said, so things aren't ideal, but if there's a grain of sand in the hourglass, I can still score. And I said, if you need ideal circumstances, maybe the problem is that you suck. And he said, I try for these guys. And then they focused on them, and they're just looked at. They did not look like they were buying what Moxley was selling.
Okay, good. You were.
Okay.
I wasn't the only one who thought that.
Yeah. Even Marina was like, okay, and he says group of individuals in pro wrestling, which is funny because he did commentary for about an hour and a half, which was only about 10% of the show on Ring of Honor. And he just kept saying hungry over and over again to the point where it was like comedy. And then he said it again here. And then he called them the hardest working group in pro wrestling. And then Daniel Garcia finishes this promo and he says, every day we get up and we choose to win. We are the hungriest. People say we try, but we're too cool to try. That's lame. If you want something, you have to go take it. And that was a good line to close the thing.
What was the line about you just suck?
Yeah, if you need things to be ideal, then maybe you just suck.
It's my board persona right there. In a nutshell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they undersold something here, though. I think the point was for Garcia to have had enough of Moxley's promo and to interrupt and start taking it. Problem is when he starts talking about we get up every day and we choose to win. Daniel Garcia, what was his last win?
On the Ring of Honor show.
Oh, was it? Okay,
yeah.
never mind.
Him and Yuta beat.
Okay, when was it on national TV on a program worth a damn?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, thank you.
It's been a while.
I need to get my mojo back. I didn't mean
but he is challenging for a title on the weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
So I would hope it's been a while. Let me have
against
a look
the Army Navy game, which is a mistake.
Oh, I mean, don't get me started on that, and we'll talk about it. But okay, let's see here. He beat Matt Menard on Collision.
Hey, how about that?
Not even that long ago, 2 weeks ago.
That's true.
Yeah, so there we go.
Yeah, but it looked like they were kind of like throwing Moxley a glance and then just kind of looking down a little bit. It was clever if that's what they were meant to do.
Like, what if we?
If it was just bad acting, then it wasn't clever. But if it was a choice, I liked it.
There was someone behind in the background. You could barely see them, and I was wondering if it was Pac or Claudio. And then I think it was just somebody that was in the shop by mistake.
No, it's probably somebody. It was probably somebody with a cord. Probably like grip.
Could be like they were kind of behind the stairway.
A grip or a best boy. Yeah, who was trying to keep the cords untangled.
Yeah, that's probably it. All right, then we got Jack Perry and Kazuchika Okada. So Don Callis was on commentary, and he spent the whole match putting over Jack Perry, which was weird. But I guess it played into what they were going to do after the match. And this was like by Okada standards, he worked pretty hard. So at very beginning of the match, he's up on the turnbuckle, and Okada drop kicks him, and he falls out of the ring, and he fell onto like a camera guy. And I thought, oh my God, he's hurt. And the way they like shot it and sold it and everything, and even him, like he looked like he was really hurt. And then they went to a break, and I'm like, oh man, they're gonna come back from the break, and like now he's out of the tournament.
Okay, well, hold on, because I have a counter argument for that.
Okay,
because I think it's paying off a bit. I think it's because somebody noticed this I think it was Alvarez who noticed this as well. Every match before he does the elbow drop, Okada tells the cameraman to get out of the way.
Oh, okay.
So I think this was paying off that the cameraman was finally in the way.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, then, I mean, they did it really well to the point where I thought he was really hurt, but then they went to the break and they came back and Okada was in control the whole break because I kind of was keeping my eye on it as I was fast forwarding. And, but then, they just had a match and, the match was cool. So he went up and went for the elbow drop. And it was his lazy elbow drop where he just falls off. And Excalibur called it the best drop kick Tony Schiavone called it the best elbow drop in the business. And Danielson agreed because he said he broke my arm hitting me with that. And then they hit the 10-minute call. Perry hits a poison rana. Then he hit a running knee, got a great near fall. And that got a "This is awesome" chant. Put on a snare trap, but Okada bit him to get out of it. Now that's key because right after that, Okada goes for a pile driver. And Perry has a very unique counter to this pile driver. He bit Kazuchika Okada's dick. I'm not making this up. I mean, I don't know if he actually did, but that's what they said he did.
No, that's what he did.
Okay. Well, Okada was selling it like he got his dick bit.
We are missing a grand opportunity here, Paul, to rebrand Jack Perry as the dick biter Jack Perry.
I called him a dick muncher, and apparently that wasn't very politically correct.
I'm not here for a long time. I'm just here
I'm not.
If I get canceled about it, I'm fine.
He factually did that. So I mean, I'm not making any commentary on his lifestyle. I don't know if he does this in his free time. I assume he doesn't. I think he's dating Anna Jay. So
it costs extra.
Yeah. But yeah. So I mean, it worked. And then he rolled him up. And I thought, like, at first I thought Aubrey, I thought she counted 3.
It worked, but boy, I need Okada to sell this throughout the rest of this match.
Yeah, every time.
Just did. Yeah.
Or he doesn't go for the pile driver anymore because he's scared of getting his dick bit.
Or we need, yes. Or and we need an eventual payoff where he wears a cup or something.
Oh,
and he tries to get bit in the dick, and then like Perry knocks.
He'd be wearing a cup anyways, but no. When he rolled up Okada, like I actually to the point where I actually rewound it because I thought Aubrey counted 3, and yeah, but it was only 2. Like I don't know what
it was camera angle and maybe Okada being a tad late on the kick out.
No, not at all. Like she only counted 2. Her hand hit the mat twice. That's it. I think maybe it was the sound of her dropping to the mat.
Oh, the sound part. I thought he actually had his shoulders down for 3 at one point.
No. So then Okada, he put Okada in the snare trap again, and Brian couldn't stop talking about this dick biting and said he's never seen it before. Okada made the ropes. Then he went for a chair, but Perry got it away from him and threw it away. Rolled Okada back in the ring. Okada hit the Rainmaker, went for another one, but he missed it. Then he missed the drop kick. And then Perry went for a knee, but Okada caught him, hit a Rainmaker, and pinned him. And that was that. So it was a good, very good match. Not one of the best matches in the tournament or anything, but solid. Honestly, better than I was expecting. And Okada gets the win. He moves to 6 points. And and then we got the post match. But anything else you want to add about the match before we get into the?
It was good. It's one of those things where I'd like Jack Perry to fill out a little bit more, and also I'd like to see a little more strategy from him as an undersized guy in this tournament, kind of a thing, as opposed to just wrestling a match. But it was good. I liked it.
It's weird because he was in the middle of a storyline and they kind of had to pivot and take him out of the storyline, and now he's just shoehorned into this tournament. But we'll see. Curryhead points out that a woman did that to him once and it sucked. I would imagine it did. So after the match, Callis is in the ring and he calls in his family. He says he's got something important to say. And I was sure they were going to go to break again like they did last week, but he didn't. They pulled Jack Perry to his feet. And he told Perry that was a fantastic match. It's the toughest match Okada's had in a long time. There's no shame in losing. I have respect for you. And he says, I got an offer for you. And basically he offers him a spot in the family and the $1 million. He's got the $1 million there. He says, the problem with you is you lack focus and direction. You lack a team of athletes around you to support you. And if you don't answer me right away, what are you waiting for? There's 7 of us and 1 of you here. And he said this line. I don't understand it. I'm wondering if you do. I'll cut your strings and put you in a chair if you don't give us an answer. What does that mean? Yeah, or should we just move on?
I thought it might be a reference to when he was the scapegoat, but it's not. And it sounds like a puppet reference too. So
didn't he have a thing where he put someone in a chair and was torturing them
and taped them? Yeah, but
yeah, I don't think that had anything to do with it, but I don't know. Anyways, Jack says, I got your answer. He says, for the second time tonight, I might bite off more than I could chew. That was a good line. And then he attacked them 1-on-7 and quickly they swarmed him. Then Luchasaurus.
I found what it is. It's actually from pop culture.
Oh, okay.
It's from a show called Bosch.
I watched Bosch.
Yeah, it's Harry Bosch said something similar. I'll cut your strings and leave you drooling in a chair.
Oh, okay. All right. No, I watched that show. I just didn't remember that line. I mean, there's 40 episodes of it. So, anyways, yeah. So Luchasaurus makes a save, except like his music made the save because he comes out of the ring and he stops at the ring. And I'm like, wait a second, is Luchasaurus going to take Don's deal? And no, he was just distracting them while the Bucks and Kenny Omega, I think it was the Bucks and Kenny, right? Yeah, they came in with chairs and they cleared out the Don Callis family. And
I don't think Kenny came in. I think Kenny was the reveal later about the
partner. Okay, so was it just the Bucks?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought there was 3 out there, but I could be wrong. So the Bucks, anyways. And then so the Callis family left and they left their money. So now the Bucks have the money and possession is 9/10 of the law. Okada was left in there by himself. So they hit him with a BT trigger. And then Callis was in there and he backed into Luchasaurus. Takeshita made the save for Callis. Rocky Romero took a choke slam and they got the money. And that was that. And more on this later. That was a good segment. Bucks got the money back. That was cool.
I was disappointed the Bucks got the money because I swore I thought I saw Josh Alexander go back for a bag outside the ring.
That was the last time he did that.
But I thought that would have been such a great story point for him because they've done pretty good character work given that he's on the B team of this
He's
thing.
kind of back and forth between the A and the B squad.
Well, they're giving everybody kind of stories on the B team because now Hechicero has to team with these two bickering dopes again in a 6-man. But I liked Takeshita in this because if you watched him, and I was watching him because he was also kind of drawing focus a little bit.
Well, he's so big.
Yeah, that too. I mean, just compared to the rest of the dwarfs there. There. When they started beating up Jack Perry, he was like, "Are you effing kidding me? I don't want to go and beat up Jack Perry." He's just kind of standing there defeated. And Jack Perry eventually comes by to his area where they're all like giving the boots to him. And Takeshita gives the most half-hearted kicks with his sneakers you've ever seen. It's just, they're the lightest stomps. They don't even hit him, I think. I think he's just pretending so that nobody else will call him out and not beating him up. And I think that's what made him making the save for Don Callis for me a lot more interesting because I think what we said last week is going to come true.
Yeah,
I think Okada's turning babyface and Takeshita is going to remain with the Callis family eventually.
Yeah, like they're going to have enough of Okada's prima donna attitude and kick him out. Yeah. And
you're the one causing all this grief for the family, and we're just trying to be a family. Get out.
There you go. Yeah, and Takeshita is part of the family. So then we get backstage, and it's a conglomeration. They're celebrating with the Babes of Wrath. Roddy's in the background. He doesn't look happy. I guess he's forced to be in this group.
I'm sorry. I love this character beat.
Yeah.
You're the conglomeration. I hate you guys. I don't want to be
in this group.
And I'm gonna come to all your parties, and I'm gonna stand against the wall, and I'm gonna listen to the music, and I'm gonna drink the punch, and I might have a little bit of fun, but I'm not a part of your conglomeration.
I know that stupid video that we don't even see anymore was parodying 90210, but I think he is he's Newman. He's Gunther. He's
there's always a crank on certain sitcoms, and he's that guy.
He's the guy that is always around, but he isn't really part of the group.
He's Creed from The Office. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one. All right, so they they're just celebrating, and Timeless Love Bombs show up and to celebrate again. That was the most notable thing in this, I thought. And it's maybe there's something else going on there. Then we got
was that Commander?
Because Alex Abrahantes was there too, and they're not in the conglomeration either. So
I thought Commander was in the conglomeration.
No, because
the other guy, the guy that's out right now. Hologram.
Hologram. Yeah, Hologram's in it. No, when they had a match one time, and it was the conglomeration guest starring. It was guest starring Commander. Yeah. So then we got the Mercedes video package, and this is where they did the thing where Statlander, predicted her downfall, and then they showed Red Velvet beating her on Saturday, so that was cool. It was a really good match. I saw people calling it like the best women's match of the year, and I'm like, what the hell were you watching? I mean, it was a good match, but it wasn't like
it was Red Velvet's best match.
Oh, probably, yeah. I mean, honestly, it wasn't that much better than that match we just reviewed, the one with Cody and Shaq. It was really good, don't get me wrong, but I mean, it wasn't like match of the year or anything like that.
I know you don't watch his content, but the last Hey EW RJ City put up, Mercedes was the punchline on it. Best thing she did all week.
I heard about this show, and I'm tempted
fine.
to watch it. So yeah, and then they showed her beating Layla Gray on Collision, and then she attacked Christopher Daniels, and then she did an interview, and she's melting down. That's the whole gist here. I wonder if she was going to lose the title to Layla before Layla got hurt. So, but
it crossed my mind.
With the storyline they were doing.
Yeah, especially with her mind is off her game after these losses. Maybe Layla gets a flash pin.
Yeah, but then if that was the case, then they'll just do it with somebody else.
Yeah.
Then we got another interview. It's amazing we had all these interviews because like there's a lot of wrestling on the show too, but they packed a lot in. But it was Renee with Eddie Kingston, and they're always great together because Eddie is like he really likes Renee and in real life, so he's always different around her. He said he was nervous. I pointed out that he was wearing a DMX shirt. Today was the 50th anniversary of Terry Funk winning the World Championship, which I didn't know before he mentioned it. And maybe he was lying, but I'm going to say he wasn't. And he said he hopes Terry's watching from heaven. He hopes his mom and dad are watching. He said, I'm 0-2 in title matches, but hopefully this time's going to be different. He said, you know me, I have respect for you, Renee. And he said, Joe, you're going to have the fight of your life. I ain't going down easy. And I thought that was great.
I thought it was a great promo. I liked the change of pace versus the angry thing. I liked that he was nervous. He showed a little bit of ass.
Yeah.
I thought it was setting up for a win, possibly even. That's how much it expected me in a bit.
He sold me.
He also had the best pull quote from a sport. I think it was Sports Illustrated, one of these aggregators. Apparently, they revealed that this is his last contract with the AEW, but it's for 6 years.
I saw this, yeah.
And he goes, I just want to go to Alaska, watch the Knicks, watch the Rangers, watch the Giants, and leave me alone. And I'm like,
so
my man.
I saw that, and then literally right after I saw it, I watched an episode of NCIS Origins where Mark Harmon as Leroy Gibbs does a little preamble at the beginning of every episode, and he's talking about why he went to Alaska to get away from everyone. And he's like, y'all know where I am, come find me, but I'm not coming to find you, kind of thing. And it was like, Eddie as Old Man Gibbs is pretty cool, but 6 years, there's no way he's going to last 6 years. Then we got Tony Schiavone in the ring.
Get paid.
Absolutely get paid. He's earned it. Brings out Mark Briscoe. They point out that he's defending his TNT title on Saturday afternoon on Collision against Daniel Garcia. So yeah, the show's airing at I think 2:30 in the afternoon on Saturday because of college basketball. It's got nothing to do with the fact that Saturday night's main event is on Saturday night, even though the college basketball game is over before Collision normally starts. It's because of college basketball that they're moving.
They're running.
Yeah, they are definitely running as they should. People said he couldn't get it down, couldn't win the big one. He says, I know there's haters out there, but I'm still the champion, and all those doubters out there, they can kiss my big white ass. And the fans chanted big white ass at him. And I think he was taken aback by that. And then Wheeler interrupted, called Eddie low-hanging fruit. He said, your face has less teeth than you have children. That was
Briscoe, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good line.
That was a great line.
Yeah. He says, we don't call you chicken because you're a coward. He says, it's because you have the mental capacity of a chicken. And the fans chanted, fuck you, Yuta. And then Garcia.
Yuta's got some writers on him. I don't know if that's Peppermint or not, but he's getting some lines in there that are good.
I'm telling you, Yuta is a funny guy. If you remember the old BTEs, he was a highlight every time he was on. I think I
never watched him.
Oh, he might be writing this stuff himself.
Okay.
So anyways, for the second time on this show, Garcia interrupted a promo, and he says, I have mean and hurtful things I could say about you, but I won't because I feel bad for you. Everything about you is sad. And what's going to be more sad is when I beat you on Saturday and become a 2-time champion, and you have to figure out how to provide for your family with a broken leg. And Briscoe doesn't like that. He says, Danny boy, Saturday on TNT, you got an ass whooping coming your way. But tonight, we happen to be on TBS here in hot Atlanta, Georgia, and it would be a shame to deprive these people of an ass whooping when it's right for a picking. So if you're feeling brave, make your move. So Garcia slapped him and knocked him down. And then Briscoe went after him, but Marina held Garcia back. Fans are chanting, let them fight. Briscoe stood there for a while. And the way they shot this, you've got on one side of the ring, Marina holding back Wheeler and Garcia. Briscoe is by himself with his back to the other side of the ring. I was positive the other Death Riders were going to come in and attack him. And they didn't. It was just over. Did you think that was coming, or
No,
the way they shot it? Oh, okay.
I think if Pac and Claudio weren't there for this, the reveal to be and beating up Mark Briscoe would have been anticlimactic.
I guess they're probably in Europe already. I would guess, since
I would hope so.
Yeah. Well, Claudio's wrestling on Saturday in wherever they are, Cardiff. Yeah.
Yes.
And Pac is, Pac just disappears all the time. He's random. Another non-wrestling segment, to the back. Triangle of Madness is beating up women backstage. We have no idea who they are. It doesn't matter. Second show in a row they did this. And but this time Statlander showed up, made the save, beat their asses. They quickly swarmed her, but then she grabbed a chair, made her own back. And I guess on Saturday it's going to be Statlander and Jamie Hayter against the Sisters of Sin on Collision.
You buried the lead on this. This had the funniest moment of the show.
What was that?
They're beating them up.
Oh, is it when they just did their promo?
No. Tekla turns to the camera and goes, "Where's Statlander?" Push in the face.
I know, it's great because she's so cocky. Yeah. And it's great. Like but this time she got
the perfect kind of crazy in this division, which I love.
They gotta belt her, man. I don't think they're gonna, but they gotta. I love Tekla. Absolutely adore her.
Same.
Yeah. She's so cool, and her group is so bad. Like, I think it makes her look better.
No, it is. She is. I'm gonna put you both on my back, and I'm gonna carry you up this hill, and we're all gonna be successful. And if not, I'm gonna drop you down the other side of the mountain.
They do their dumb promo every time, and then she just ignores whatever they said and does her crazy promo.
Yeah. She's their Asuka in this company.
Oh yeah.
Whatever she does, it's crazy. It's awesome. It's cool. It's somewhat sexy. Just let her be her.
Yeah. Then we got Hobbs and Shibata against Hangman and Swerve. Now, we're not going to talk about the awkward way they set up this match, because I don't know what the hell that whole segment on Saturday was about. But anyways, this was awesome because they did their entrances, and then when Hangman and Swerve were coming out, the Opps dojo guys intercepted, and they got their asses beat. Swerve had a stapler with him, and he stapled the guy's shirt to his body.
Shibata was going to yeet for a few moments.
Yeah. Shibata grabbed the gun, but then he stapled his own guy. And they showed a split screen, and we've got Swerve and Shibata on one side and Page and Hobbs on the other side, and they're brawling through the crowd. Then they go out into the concourse. Hangman put Hobbs through a table, then he jumps up on a bar, chugs a beer. Fans are going nuts. Shibata does a running. He's going to do a running knee on Swerve, but then he stops right in front of him and just kicks him in the face. There's hundreds of people watching this in the concourse, so it looked really cool. And then eventually they made their way back to the ring during the break, and they had a match. And before the match even started, Hangman was bleeding, and they just had a wild brawl. And I just got to say, like, Shibata took so many moves to the head in this match, and I was like cringing every time, because either he's the best worker in the world or he's going to kill himself. I'm not sure which. Maybe a little of both. It was something else. And they just Hangman and Page, or Hangman and Swerve, they worked great together. Violent Inc., as I like to call them. And so he went for the house call on Shibata. Hobbs pulled him out of the ring. Hangman went for the buckshot, but Shibata was ready for it. Hit a low blow, put on an arm bar. Swerve broke it up with a stomp. Then Hobbs accidentally took out Shibata with a rolling elbow. Hangman hits a Samoan drop. Swerve hit a 450, which was wild. I don't think I've ever seen him hit that. Then he hit a rolling cutter. Swerve and Hangman just stared at each other like they were going to fight. But then they rolled out of the ring, powerbombed Hobbs through a broken table. It was like the Shield powerbomb. And then he had a buckshot on Shibata. Swerve hits a house call. Then he got the pin. And the actual match part of this, like they didn't even go through a break. So it was pretty much just a one-sided destruction. I mean, Hobbs and Shibata got a little bit of offense in, but these two were just like the Mega Violent Powers or something. Hey, there's a good name. The Mega Violent Powers? I like that.
No, it's not a good name.
It's not a good name? Okay.
No.
Violence Inc. is a good name.
It's a pretty good name.
Yeah, as long as you don't call it Swerve Shit or Cowboy House.
The Cowboy Embassy. Look, the match was good. I enjoyed it. I don't like Swerve with this extra weight.
Yeah. Well, it's weird that he's got the extra weight, but he's still doing all the high flying stuff.
Exactly. And that's part of the
hurt
problem.
Himself. Well, he's going to hurt himself.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of the mid-90s comedy, The Great White Hype. If you ever saw Damon Wayans in that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He has a... God bless Swerve. I don't want to call it steroid gut because I'd never want to accuse him of using those, but he has a bit of a gut, and it's a little disconcerting when he's doing the flying moves. I liked Lean Mean Swerve. I did. Powerful Swerve, we'll see, but yeah, this is fine. It's also one of those things where it's like it felt like they were going to rebrand him, and yet we can't take Nana away from him.
And we can't,
which totally undercuts the badassness of Swerve to me now. Yeah. It's one of these things where it's now more of a hindrance than a help, and I'd much rather see him without. Yeah, get a good team name, come out together as opposed to separate. I understand the need to, but let's see a unified front for a while and give them a tag team run. What the hell?
Well, the way they presented this was a one-time only deal.
Yeah,
and
that's
both guys are going for the world title, to the point where. So Swerve's got a match on Saturday.
We're gonna have another three-way, aren't we, with Joe and these two?
I'm wondering because the challenge that Josh Alexander made to Swerve on Collision was basically a number one contenders match. But when they advertised it, they did not say it was a number one contenders match. And then Hangman in a promo later said he's challenging the winner of Eddie and Joe at World's End. So and then we've also got a battle royal next week. And the winner of that's getting a world title shot. We've got MJF presumably coming back. He's got a world title shot in his back pocket. So a lot of challengers for young Samoa Joe.
Also, let's not pass over too quick that Josh Alexander has gotten really good on promos.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he had that awesome one on that a couple weeks ago on Dynamite or Collision, the one where he's beating Nakazawa's ass.
Yeah.
And then he had the one on Saturday.
The one on Saturday was really good too. Yeah.
Yeah. That was, I mean, it's arguable which one is better. They're both really good.
The Nakazawa one was fun, but I liked the one on Saturday a little bit better because it was a little more.
Yeah.
There wasn't as much camp to it. Like, don't get me wrong. Putting a promo while you're beating up Michael Nakazawa, fun time for everybody, but I don't take it that seriously.
It's more focused on Saturday for sure. Then we got a Don Callis promo, and he said he was going to sue the Bucks to get his money back, but he said he thought against it, and he thought a better way to do it would be in the ring. So he's got Okada, Takeshita, and Hechicero, and what a guy! He's going to put these two together again. Recipe
I wanted the family to be in there. I was like, I'm going to pick three members of my family. Okay, Okada. Yeah, everybody. Yeah. Takeshita, and everybody's kind of like, okay. And Hechicero's like, why me? Why not Lance Archer? Why not Rocky
Lance
Romero?
is in Japan, but why not?
You know what I mean?
Rocky?
I mean, why do I have to babysit them? Why do I?
Well, and why does Takeshita and Okada have to team again? So it's them against the Bucks, and you guys, if you can find anyone that's willing to team with you. And meanwhile, it's like they've been teaming with guys like, what are you watching? Like, it's obviously going to be Luchasaurus or Kenny or possibly even Jack Perry. I think originally this was going to be a 5-on-5, but because they had to put Jack Perry in the tournament, they're doing a 3-on-3, and it's not a ladder match. But I did predict that it would be Cal's family against the Elite for the money. So he said, if you grow a set, accept, and it'll be next week on Dynamite at the Holiday Bash. Then we got Stokely promo. and he said he's mad at the Juice and Austin because they got handsy with the belts. But then we had an epiphany. The most dangerous narcotic in all of the world of professional wrestling is the camera. It causes an addiction. He makes you think you're great, makes you believe you deserve TV time. It makes you believe you deserve a championship. But guess what? Next week on Dynamite in Manchester, England, you're going to get that opportunity. And I thought this was weird because originally I thought they said it was going to be on Collision, but so we're going to cure you of that addiction. FTR is going to cure you of that addiction by beating you, I guess. This is an okay promo.
I actually really like this promo.
Yeah? Okay.
But mostly because Stokely didn't do the thing where he has to add in some reference or something.
Some obscure pop culture reference.
For the joke that's taking away from the menace of his promo. I thought this was great.
Some CW show from the early 2000s that him and Garrett watched and nobody else.
Garrett, Zach Malibu, our boy Chris. Yeah.
Okay,
I was watching Moesha and I was very upset. Oh, that was such a great reference. Thanks, Garrett. Yeah.
All right. And then we got the burying the lead here. Mike Bailey and Kyle Fletcher. And good Lord. So during the entrance, Renee was talking about, earlier in the day, she talked to Kyle and he assured her that the Continental Championship will not leave the family. Mike Bailey said tonight is do or die for me because I've got 0 points. I got to get on the board. Kyle's leading with 6 points. And this match was insane. The crowd went nuts with dual chants right from the start. These guys just went nonstop, like didn't slow down at all for almost 20 minutes. Bailey hit a springboard tornilla off the ropes to Fletcher on the outside, rolled him in the ring. Fletcher rolled out the other side. Fletcher hit him with a thrust kick. Bailey put him on the barrier, and I thought he was going to do that sudden impact move that he does with the double knee drops. But then Fletcher grabbed his leg, and I thought, okay, that's good. But then he picks him up and he slams him hard on the barricade. And Bret Hart, if he was watching this match, he's going to be mad at these guys for not realizing that pro wrestling is supposed to be fake, because Bailey's back was just all carved up after this, and it can't have been very good. Then they go through the break, and apparently they did a bunch of wild shit during the break. Then there was a 10-minute count happened during the break. They showed highlights. So Bailey hit a poison rana on the floor during the break. Then he hit a top rope rana live. Went for a shooting star press. Fletcher got his feet up. Fletcher lawn darted him into turnbuckles. Then he hit a power bomb. Bailey kicked out. Fletcher went for a move and collapsed. Crowd is going insane. Fletcher got up first, started stomping Bailey's head in. Then Bailey got up, chopped Fletcher. He no-sold it. Then they chopped the shit out of each other, just killing each other. Fletcher hits a half-and-half suplex. Bailey hit a Spanish fly for 2. Then he missed a kick, and he missed a moonsault. Powered out of a power bomb. They do a 5-minute call. So then Bailey hits a Hurricane Rana. Fletcher kicked out. Then he hit his double knee drop and a super kick, but Fletcher kicked out. Then Bailey hits a wheel kick. Fletcher kicks out. Fletcher hits a super kick. Then Bailey hits one and another and a third. Then he goes to the second rope, hits the ultimate weapon. Fletcher kicks out again. Fletcher rolls out of the ring. A crowd gives them a standing ovation. Bailey missed the ultimate weapon, and then Fletcher rolled him up, but he got his shoulder up. Fletcher put him on the ropes. Bailey reversed, hit a power bomb. They did a double reversal spot, and Fletcher kicked out again. Fletcher hit a massive lariat, went for a suplex, and then Bailey rolled him up in the middle of the suplex and got the pin. And this was nuts. I mean, it was insane. I probably missed 100 moves. I wrote down as much as I could. It was insane. Dave's given this over 5 stars, guaranteed it. It was easily the best match of the tournament and probably the best match ever in the Continental Classic tournament, I would think. It was just insane. It was great. It's awesome.
The problem with the Continental Classic isn't that wins and losses don't matter. Problem with the Continental Classic is you don't know until after the tournament what wins and losses do matter.
True.
Problem with Mike Bailey is not necessarily that he loses every singles match that he's in. is that nobody really knows why he's in AEW.
Well, I know why he's in AEW.
Well, I mean, kayfabe, why he's in AEW.
Oh, okay.
Why is he here?
Well, it's because it's where the best wrestle. That's kayfabe.
Fair enough. But what?
Yeah.
But remember, when I was a huge fan of Mike Bailey, he was doing the Karate Kid gimmick in Reseda. Why did Daniel LaRussa enter the All Valley Karate Tournament?
Was he trying to press Elizabeth Shue?
He's trying to impress Elizabeth Shue, and he wanted revenge on the guys who beat him up.
Right. Yeah.
Before this match, earlier in the day, AEW released the most interesting thing that Speedball Bailey has done yet in this company.
I did. This is the first
and it wasn't very,
about it.
and it wasn't very good, but it was still interesting.
Okay.
He's in the locker room warming up. Needs to win this match. Kind of nervous. In to wish him luck, Ernest the Cat Miller and Glacier.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And Ernest the Cat Miller left impressed. And, Glacier already does backstage work for AEW. We don't have a reason to care about Mike Bailey other than he's a good wrestler.
True.
We've never had that. He came in as the wild card in that tournament, and then he just kept coming in and being a wrestler.
Yeah.
He did do that MVP thing on social media, but it didn't really amount to anything. And then they brought in Kevin Knight, and now they're Jet Speed and they're our team. We don't know much about Kevin Knight either. And so when these two
we know he likes to go to strip clubs with the money that he wins in these prize matches.
That's true. But they never followed up on that.
No.
They never followed up on the wings.
Juice is doing a real good job of reminding us that he won $200,000.
Well, yes,
all the things he can do with it.
He humped a bag, for God's sakes. But yes, that and 401k, baby.
No, the last brilliant one is to buy a bunch of AEW championship belts on AEWshop.com.
Although when he was celebrating getting to have a 401k, it said something about the state of this industry, didn't it? But I'm happy for the match. I think people are going to way overplay that he got a big win. This could be the start of something. No, he's probably going to lose the rest of his matches in this tournament.
Even if he doesn't, it doesn't matter because he's not going to win the tournament.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and
Fletcher, you're watching this match and you're going, well, yes, it is technically good. I am enjoying myself. I'm watching this. Okay. But are you emotionally connected to this match in any way?
If you had to predict if this match meant anything in terms of the tournament, it's
going to screw Fletcher in a way.
I was going to say, is the important thing that Bailey won or is it that Fletcher lost?
Exactly.
And the story is about Fletcher. Because there are three guys that can win this tournament. Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada, Konosuke Takeshita. Those are the three possibilities. The fourth
was Darby Allin, and he got hurt.
Well, the fourth thing in this tournament is Jon Moxley and the self-destruction of Jon Moxley and his group, and whether or not and there's people thinking he might actually make the playoffs. It's hard at this point. I think he obviously has to win his last two matches, but he also needs some help. And I don't think this helps him because he's in the other block. Right. So, and Claudio's got a tiebreaker over him, so he's got to beat Claudio. If Claudio gets one more win, Moxley's out. So it's not easy for him. So yeah,
I think there's a tiebreaker between Moxley and Claudio.
What, no, they can't. The
rematch.
Claudio has a tiebreaker.
Okay.
Yeah, the tiebreaker is.
You're
wins.
right. Oh yeah.
Head-to-head wins. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, no, I mean, unless there's a three-way and they all have a 1-1 record against each other, then you would have to do a three-way tiebreaker, and they've done that before. They did that with Danielson, Kingston, and Moxley, I believe.
My immediate thought after that is that's the Daniel Garcia win.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's fine. It was a good match, but it's just one of these things where I'm just like, oh man, did you hear that crowd? What are you going to do with this now?
Even that one was better because it came at the end.
Yeah.
And this one was in the middle of the tournament. And like you said, we don't even know what it means yet because now Bailey is he's right in there. Theoretically, he just beat Fletcher. He should be one of the favorites, but nobody thinks he's a favorite. I mean,
Yeah, nobody thinks. I mean,
No.
it's gonna be weird because it's like, well, nobody thinks he should be elevated up to a top tier
Yeah.
spot after beating him.
We
And I'm like,
and the other thing is we should have had an interview with him too, but we don't have time
apparently,
for that.
I'm looking on social media. He cut a stairwell promo,
Okay, well that doesn't
so
do us any
I'll see if
good.
that's any good. But
I'm sure they'll put it on
that,
Collision.
please just why can't they ever get this right for me?
Yeah. Well, we had to hear from Hangman next. So Renee was with him and asked him what's next, and he said, "What's next? It's what's always been next, the Men's World Championship. So Eddie, Joe, I'll be watching tonight, regardless of whichever one of you leaves as champion. I'm coming for you at World's End." Short and sweet. They've completely dropped the whatever tension there was between Renee and Hangman that they used to always be. So I guess
they have him starting out pacing and angry though, which is nice.
Yeah, no, his promos.
He has figured out how to get into character. I'm happy with this.
Ever since Dave said he was the promo of the year, he's like trying to live up to it now, I guess.
I think. Well, yes, I helped him more than Dave.
This is true. So the Young Bucks are in the back, and they asked Luchasaurus if he'd team with them, and he said no. But then he pointed at Omega's locker room. So they knocked on the door. Kenny comes out. Massive pop from the crowd, chanting Kenny. And he has no idea what's going on. He hasn't been watching the show.
Kenny just woke up from a nap.
Yeah.
This is what he does. He flies in his sweatshirt, shorts, and Crocs. He gets catering. Oh, I ate too much. I'm going to lay on the couch in my dressing room.
Yeah.
Knock on the door if you need me. Comes out, cuts half-assed promos.
So he had no idea about this match and that they needed a partner. And then he said, "Well, yeah, we'll split the money with you." And he said, "Oh, that's a lot of money, but I don't need money." And he said, "But if it's about Don Callis and his family, I'll do it for free." Nick's pretty happy about this. And he said next week it'll be the Elite against the Don Callis family, all the money on the line. So tune in, be there or be square, which is, I guess, a new wrinkle on his standard promo. And then he said, "I must bid you adieu, goodbye, and good night. Bang, I'm going back to bed."
I just want Kenny to try.
Try
to be a wrestling superstar as opposed to just a good wrestler.
Fly me to the Tokyo Dome and then I'll try.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
He comes out and he's groggy. Huh? Hey, how's it going, Young Bucks?
You know what the sad thing is, though? Even at that, he's still better than like 75% of the guys there.
I don't disagree. I want them to do more reps on promos, to use Collision for that. Do it.
I mean, he's even a good promo. He's a great wrestler and a very good promo that doesn't try hardly ever. So at this point, it's 5 minutes left in the show.
I wrote
scheduled runtime.
It's like 6:50, and we're haven't started the main event yet.
Well, the funny thing is, as you're writing me, I saw your message come up, and I'm still typing down all the moves in the Bailey Fletcher match, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, when?
And then you're lucky you didn't get a follow-up note from me, because right at that moment at 6:52, Tony Schiavone says it's a 60-minute time limit.
I heard
for the entire match, and I went, "You got to be kidding me!"
Well, the pace that Kingston and Joe were going, you knew it wasn't going to go like terribly long. What did they end up going? 13 minutes. So that's like pretty good for the pace they went. So they announced during the match that on Collision we're going to get Takeshita and Claudio. So that's your C2 match for now. I'm sure they're going to do more. I mean, we still got Pox needs a match, and probably Perry. Perry's got to do 4 matches on the next, I think 4 shows. Because the tournament is up before we know it. Mark Briscoe and Daniel Garcia
do a few in Brazil or something, and not tell us and just give us.
Hey, you know what? If you want to do Jack Perry Phantom matches in Brazil, sign me up for that. You can just not. We don't have time for highlights, but Jack Perry beat whoever. Mascara Dorada.
Yes, that's the one that doesn't have to make TV.
Yeah. Although I don't think they're in the same block.
That could be a speed match on Twitter.
Oh, you know that sidebar. You know that tweet you sent me about the 4 world champions?
Yes.
You know what's funny about that?
They didn't mention any of those belts today.
No.
Oh.
there's a 5th world champion wrestling for them, and he's in this tournament. Mascara Dorada is
Mascara
the
Dorada.
world welterweight champion, which is
Okay.
actually a more prestigious belt than the one Claudio holds. Even though in America the heavyweight titles are more prestigious, this is the weight title. It's been around for well over 100 years, and yeah, and they don't even mention it. It's hilarious. And we're getting on Saturday with no notice, no promotion other than mentioning the match. The IWGP champion and the CMLL World Heavyweight champion on Collision in front of 150,000 curious viewers on TBS. But a hot crowd, I'm sure.
We didn't plug the hell out of that for no reason.
No, they didn't.
Because we don't want to say one of them's getting beat.
There may be more people in the building there is watching on TBS or TNT, whatever station this airs on. No, probably not, but probably more than watching on Max. Okay. But the match itself.
Oh, there's 200,000 viewers on Max, apparently.
Not on Collision on Saturday. There won't be. The match was mostly Joe beating on Eddie and Eddie coming back. Crowd was super into it. Kingston got a near fall off an exploder. Early in the match, they were doing dual chants, but after the exploder, it was just Eddie chants. So that means the match is working. Joe hit a burning hammer, then an STF, and when he put on the STF, he did the John Cena salute, which I thought was cool. At first, I thought he was saluting Danielson, but no, it was totally a John Cena thing.
Which is great.
Yeah, and then Eddie
bites his finger,
bite his thumb to get out of it. A lot of biting on the show tonight.
Good guys are biting.
Yeah. Then he did not only that, he does a low blow to set up a DDT, and the DDT he's won a couple matches with recently. So Joe rolled out of the ring. And then he gets back in. Eddie went for the back fist, but Joe blocked it. Eddie hit a cutter, went for the back fist, and he missed it. And then Joe grabbed the Kakina clutch. And I thought Eddie was going to pass out, but he actually tapped. And that was that. And no post-match angle, just beat his ass. And yeah, you know what? If I didn't know better, this was like Eddie's retirement. Like that's almost the way this
felt
played.
That way.
Yeah. And it could be. I mean, he's got to be beat up.
Look, as much as I liked the Opps versus Hangman and Swerve, I would have taken that match off, and I would have really, really tried to work this crowd to think that Eddie could win. Yeah. Especially after that speedball match. We might see 2 upsets in one night. This crowd would have been dying for it if they had done it right. This crowd. I mean, and you can't anticipate crowds, but boy, I just feel like, I mean, this was a play the hits type of match between Joe and Eddie, and they just left. And I just went, okay.
You know what you could have done? Like, and this is like
Dusty finish?
No. So if you didn't have that match that you talked about, the Powerhouse Hobbs and Shibata against Hangman and Swerve, you could have done the match and maybe a little bit longer. Yes. And then you have Eddie do his comeback. He hits the burning hammer. He hits the DDT. Joe rolls out of the ring like he did. Gets back in the ring. Eddie hits the spinning back fist, which is his former finisher. Then he hits another spinning back fist. Joe is wobbling. Then he hits the DDT right in the middle of the ring. 1, 2. Powerhouse Hobbs jumps in and attacks him and breaks it up. No.
I don't want to attack, and I don't want him accidentally back fisting the ref. That was
no. That's it. Like it's a screw job. But you're like, Eddie had this, and he lost, and then you can do a rematch. I would have done that.
I would have made the screw job maybe a little bit more subtle. I would have maybe had Hobbs be on the outside of the ring and power bomb Eddie or something like that, and then roll him back in the ring. You
could do Joe doing like a low blow and then putting on the clutch. But problem is all the baby faces were doing the low blows tonight.
But I want to bite on the win, and I want to bite on Joe didn't have a plan going in necessarily. I kind of want
Eddie. He took Eddie too.
Took Eddie for granted. I want that moment where I'm mad because Joe could have lost versus Eddie got screwed, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Eddie could have won versus Joe got, or got it screwed.
Yeah. But alas, Joe won. So I'm not, at the end of the day, I'm not even exactly sure why they did this, unless it literally was they wanted to do this for Eddie one last time, and we're not going to be seeing much of Eddie anymore. And that could very well be.
I think
know he's got 6 years on his contract, but
this is the only time to do it, though. Because everything after this are builds to pay-per-views and stuff. And
and they've got, like you've got MJF, you've got Swerve, you've got Hangman.
And I think that's your answer right there is MJF is coming back, and MJF's going to overpower this heavyweight division or this world title division for the most part.
That's what I think, yeah. I mean, he should win. I mean, he's got that guaranteed title shot, and I mean, he could. I mean, he doesn't have to win, but
I think Tony's going to treat this January to Wembley kind of like the WWE does Rumble to Mania.
Yeah, and I mean, it's possible Will isn't back in time, and I know everybody thought, oh yeah, Will winning the world title at Wembley is a no-brainer, and if he's available, it is. But if he's not, then you can do Hangman Swerve as your big match.
If he's almost ready, just appearing at Wembley will be fine.
Yeah, doing a match, or even just doing
or coming out saying I'm next.
Yeah, or saying, I vow next year I'll be here and I'll be the AEW World Champion. And then when the baby faces vows that, he has to do it. So yeah, that was it. That was Dynamite. I thought it was an excellent episode of the show. I mean, I would definitely put it in like the top, I don't want to say like, top 2 or 3 or whatever, but top tier episodes, probably top 5%, like it was, I really, really thought the show was great. Just the matches and, I like the Cruiserweight, the Continental Classic. And you had, even aside of that, you had that awesome, honestly, the women's world title match might have been the worst match on the show, and it was pretty damn good. It's just everything else was great. So yeah. And you know what else happened tonight? Actually, 2 things. Believe it or not, Ortiz wrestled.
Huh?
He lost to Hook on a dark match. And then Steve Borden Jr. had his debut
I saw
match.
this.
Yeah, he won, beat a guy named Kieran Gray, indie guy. But I mean, it's kind of cool because this was the 5th anniversary of Sting's debut at Winter is Coming.
Huh.
As well as the fact that they're in Atlanta, which is that was Sting's home base for 25 years. So yeah, Kieran Gray, he's looks like he wrestles. He's been on ROH before, Defy wrestler. He's actually not that experienced either. He's only been wrestling for about 1.5 years, but yeah. So yeah, cool. I imagine hopefully they take their time with him because I think he's got potential and there's a good story there.
Isn't he in his 30s?
Yeah. But I mean, I don't want them to.
You don't want a Hook situation.
Yeah, but I mean, there's obviously a natural pairing with Darby there. So. All right, so that's gonna do her. I don't think we got anything else. So, you know what? I should have talked to you about this off air, but so for next week will be normal. I mean, although it is a 3-hour show, I believe, but 1 hour is Collision, so we're not doing that. We're just gonna do Dynamite, as we've done before, and then the following week is Christmas Eve. So, but then they're doing a Collision on Christmas Day, I believe.
Yes.
So my thought was, what if we do a show on either Christmas night or Boxing Day, and we'll review both shows, but it won't be as in depth as this is. It'll just be like kind of, here's what's going on, here's the matches, how's your Christmas, kind of thing.
Right. My next cystoscopy is on the 26th in the afternoon. No, but we can do it at night, possibly.
Okay. So Boxing Day night.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I was thinking for New Year's, because they're doing a show on New Year's Eve, we'll do a show New Year's Day and we'll do our Hook Awards and we'll do a half-ass recap of Dynamite.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but that would be like the next day. We're not.
Will we have guests for the Hook? Will we have guests?
We'll try, but we're not going to promise anything.
Okay.
Remember last year we did that?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I sent out feelers and nobody answered them. MJF, I sent him a message. He read it, did not respond. I know what you meant. We'll ask. We'll see what they say. So that'll do it. So I'll remind everybody to schedule next week. So Jeff, get your plugs in.
I am Jeff Hawkins. Hi. My Twitter account is crapgame13. I do a show called Shake Them Ropes on the Voices of Wrestling podcasting network. This week, it's John Cena's final week of wrestling, allegedly, but I think it's true. We'll go over the last Saturday night's main event. I watched Deadline, but I don't think Rob did, but I might try and sneak some NXT talk in there, and we'll see what he thought of this Dynamite. That'll probably drop Friday morning on your podcatching feeds.
Cool. And me, I imagine I'll be back with Jeff or with Garrett on Monday. Probably talk some John Cena and whatever else is going on. We change up the format a little bit of the takedowns. So it's we do one topic, but we go in depth on it as opposed to doing 3 or 4 topics. So check out that. It'll be on this channel as well as in your podcast feed. And then Jeff and I will be back next week to recap 2 of Tony Khan's 3+ hours. So for Jeff Hawkins, I've been Paul Fontaine, and this has been the Dynamite Show.
R.I.P. Mr. Electricity.